Hey, what's up everybody? Awall here, dreamer, creator, YouTuber, gamer. I've never told anyone this story before. This is the story of how I was a dream-chasing kid in high school and in college who was spending more time working on his video projects than actually going to class. How after college I ended up getting into corporate middle management, ended up hating that, quit my job, took a giant pay cut, started working on YouTube. Started as a small YouTuber, a startup guy in this new network, and ended up working my way up to being in charge of that network and growing that network, TGN, to one of the largest new media networks in the world. You can come along for the ride with me if you want. I'll have some visual aids so you can see some of the old goodness along the way. So let's go back to high school. Oh God. Yeah, let's go back to high school and college. I was that kid in high school who wasn't good at class. Social studies or math or English. I was really smart, but I didn't enjoy going to class at all. I used to do the morning announcements to the whole school just because I just loved doing that crap. Yeah, I used to do skits on the morning announcements where I was doing these jokes, and the vice principal used to get really pissed because I do these ridiculous jokes. And what I was doing was promoting the plays I was in. I was promoting what we're gonna be doing at the pep rally. I talked about the gear that we'd have, for the sound system. I had my own DJ set up at the time, and I was DJing. So I'd like plug my DJ stuff. I was doing like YouTuber stuff through the morning announcements. This is like, I'm talking like intercoms here. And I realized that I loved it. And, looking back on it, that was a huge influence on me discovering what I truly love, what I love to do, who I really am. That's creating content, putting it out there, and then rallying people around it. Moving into college. My dream at that time was to get into the film school. Didn't get into film school. Why? Well, when I got there, I ended up making friends with a group of guys that loved music, they loved being creative, they loved making things, and I ended up spending more time hanging out with them, creating electronic music, doing DJ stuff, creating flash animation videos on the internet, than actually going to class. I missed my midterms my freshman year, and I almost dropped out of college. It was bad. It was really bad. But I felt fulfilled because I was making content with my friends. And this was before YouTube. Got out of college, it was right after Hurricane Katrina. And my now wife lived in New Orleans. And so I moved there to go be with her. And my first job right out of college, it wasn't DJing, it wasn't making films, it wasn't producing music, it wasn't making animations, it wasn't any of those things I ever dreamed about. It was fixing houses after Hurricane Katrina, painting, sanding floorboards. The harsh reality of real life and having to pay your bills kicked in right when I got out of college. So I ended up getting a job at a hotel audiovisual in New Orleans. Every 6 months at that job I was getting promoted. This is when I began my journey on the corporate ladder. I started out as a lead technician. If it had electricity running through it, I was setting it up. Then I ended up getting promoted to assistant director, and then promoted again to director of operations. The bad part is that it ate up my entire life. I didn't have enough time to create, and in the background, sort of trying to chase the dream, I guess. Making a little bit of music here and there, playing video games, trying to figure out what it is that I want to do, but it wasn't working out. Too much of my life was being eaten up by corporate. One of the craziest decisions I've ever made was let's get married and then let's move to New York City while we're getting married. We're like, yeah, great idea, let's go chase the dream in New York. I was working my New York job, chasing the dream in New York City, but what the hell was that dream? I was in middle management in a corporation. So I started talking to my boy Danny, MBD, the friend of mine since college. We were looking around on YouTube. We saw guys like H to the Husky, Total Biscuit, these big personalities, Day 9, and we decided that we wanted to give our shot at esports dual broadcasts. It was crazy. First video I ever made was a StarCraft 2 on YouTube. Esports commentary with MBD, Liquid TLO, the little one was there. Our videos were starting to get views. Some people liked our commentary, some people thought we sucked. And our channel wasn't taking off like we had hoped. And we didn't have enough time to make as much videos as these other guys did. I was working 60 hours a week, 50 to 60 hours a week with my corporate middle management job. When I got home, and it was the night shift, so when I got home at 1 a.m., I was on my computer doing our FTW broadcasting, that was the name of the channel, social media, managing our channel, pumping out thumbnails, putting in like 4 hours a day, going to sleep at like 6 a.m., just rinse and repeat, right? I was using every hour of my time to work on this freaking YouTube channel, chasing the dream. And that's when the next chapter of my journey began. I started talking to this guy named George Venus. He was starting this YouTube hub channel, this group of YouTubers who was wanting to build this channel called TGN. And the idea, the concept at this time, which by the way was like a brand new concept. Machinima was just getting started up. So we're like, damn, we have an opportunity here. So we took over our League of Legends content, our StarCraft 2 content, my Star Wars The Old Republic content, and we went for it. So after a few months of doing that and getting to know the TGN team, I was this rare combination of traits. I had a business background, I'd run operations, but I was also a gamer, and I also knew YouTube. George actually made me an offer to be full-time building TGN, not just as a hub channel, but as a network. It was a massive, massive pay cut from what I was making in corporate middle management. So I talked to my wife, and I told her my dream is to be paid full-time to do gaming, to do video content creation, and to be my own man, basically, and to be an entrepreneur. And I ended up quitting my corporate middle management job right when I was getting an offer to become the director of one of the hotels here in New York. It would have been a major pay increase, and my whole life changed. At that point, the whole thing changed, and it changed for the better. That's when my journey really began. I went into full manager mode and entrepreneur mode. At that point, I became the community manager for TGN. Then I became director of business development for TGN, and we were building the TGN network. We decided that building a network and helping other YouTubers like us grow was something that would be valuable. In the first year, we took off. TGN took off. We were crushing it. We went from 0 to 300 million views a month on YouTube. It was nuts. I ended up working with Broadband TV and with the team, and I ended up becoming the head of TGN. I was the most senior person on the team. We all felt like I was the best guy for the role. Not only was I in charge of everything, basically, for TGN, from partner support to getting new partners and running all our channels and social media and community, I was also the face of the TGN brand. I was working 70, 80 hours a week building TGN. I ran myself into the ground. I was loving it. Doubled the size of the network again. We ended up getting up to 600 million views a month at the end of that year, so I was pretty happy with that. Now as the head of network development for gaming at Broadband TV. So now I was in charge of Viso Games and TGN. I went for 6 weeks to Vancouver, Canada, to make sure this launch of TGN went well. We've been planning it for months. It's crunch time. Put everything together. We're talking about a new logo, a new look, new shows, new YouTube channels, new social media strategy, new forums, new website, new Twitch channel, new campaign, new freaking everything. At the same time, merging these two networks together and making sure that our partners were happy, the community was happy. God, there's so many details involved. We launched, God, it just looks so sick. And the response from the community was massively positive. TGN is a gaming network. It's for gamers. You know, we saw all of our competitors go geek, go comic books, go movies, you know, and also we're gamers too. And we realized that we were gamers, we wanted to continue to be gamers, and we wanted our network to be a gaming network. And when we launched, it was the second biggest gaming network on YouTube, period. Going from being a high school kid who was just sitting there in my AV class, my video production class, making little animations on my computer, to now being in charge of the second biggest gaming network on YouTube, getting billions of views a month, with tens of thousands of channels and partners on board. Just an insane journey, just unbelievable. I'm proud. It's been a lot of passion and sweat and tears, and the team I have is the best. They're the best because they actually love what they do. So where do I go from here? You know, my dream when I got into this was to be a rock star creator, to be my own personality on YouTube, to build my own channel, and, you know, to help others chase that dream. I ended up focusing all my time and energy on TGN, building the network to help others make that dream come true, because I know what it's like to have that dream. I still have that dream. If you want to come along for the journey with me, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video, friends. Bye-bye.